This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, Mindy. Good afternoon. How are you? Thank you for being here at the Wired Life podcast. It is a true pleasure to have you. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure and a true happiness for me to be here.
Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. I know you're a very busy lady, and we do appreciate all of us, I'm sure, with what we're going to be sharing, you being here today. So we want to start off by just telling us a little bit about you, your background, how you got started in real estate or whatever you were doing before then, whatever you feel like sharing.
Absolutely. So moved to Texas about almost 12 years ago. And when I did, I met my twin sister. She had moved here also. So we met up in Mckinney. We live 3 minutes from each other. And we decided to start an interior design business. So we did that for the last 12 years. And it kind of turned in from, picking a couch and picking a sofa to full house remodels. So all we do now is remodeling. We don't really, stage anymore. And so once we did that, I kind of just started to get the idea that I could do this for myself. I'm doing it for everybody else. Why shouldn't I do it for myself? And like everybody else, scrolling through the ring or scrolling through Facebook and found the ring and just clicked on it. And I thought, why not? I'll give it a try. Went through the program in April. Then, or was it March? March of last year. So went through. It'd been about a year. Went through, got my first deal from a wholesaler, and then just went from there.
That was
and
the beginning.
Now here we are.
All right, beautiful. So tell us a little bit, like what are you focused on? Are you like fixing and flipping, buy and hold, a little mix, or what's going on with that?
So I'm pretty much all over the place. For me, a diversified portfolio, I think, will be the best long-term for me. So I flipped, I'm flipping currently, I'm doing new builds currently. I have a storage unit I'm looking at buying. I'm gonna get a duplex here within the next week. And then of course, as everybody does, they want the short-term rentals, and I'm looking every day for short-term rentals.
Oh my God, you're so brave to get your hands on everything. I'm barely trying to scrape on one thing. Good for you.
I might just be scattered and a little crazy, but
no, this is awesome. I'm sure you're inspiring me already, so I know you're going to inspire a whole lot of ladies here. Okay, and then so what area are you focusing? Like just right where you live, or?
So I have 3 here in Mckinney that I'm flipping, and when I say flipping, I've flipped before, but mostly I'm BRRRing. I want to long-term rent them, so I'm holding everything I can. So Mckinney is an area I work in, and then north of Mckinney, within about an hour, there's a little town up there that I've just fallen in love with, and I'm just connecting with a lot of people up there, and I'm just trying to gobble up everything I can.
Good for you.
It's appreciating, and there's some great things that are going to be happening very soon there. So I think it's a perfect time to jump in and grab some deals while nobody else is looking.
Beautiful. Sounds good. Yeah, trying to get that inflation dollars in parked somewhere before it's too late. Good.
Right.
All right.
And then the short-term rentals, Florida, Galveston, any beach areas. We're still looking for some more cabins and hunting land.
Those cabins. Lately, I've fallen in love with those A-shaped cabins. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't get it out of my head. Who knows what way I'm gonna go? But I love that. Super excited. So tell me a little bit, like, how have you found most of your deals? Do you have like a realtor that kind of like hooks you up with good deals, wholesalers, off market marketing yourself, or like what's your strategy?
So the first deal I ever did was with a wholesaler that I just kind of found off Facebook. I was successful in it. Did I have any idea what I was getting to with a wholesaler? Absolutely not. Now I have a little bit clearer picture of what they are and how they behave and, you know, their ethics. So most of mine come from word of mouth. I don't wholesale myself. I don't prefer that. I am kind of grooming a couple of the men gals to wholesale for me, and they're kind of putting their marketing out for me and then bringing me the deals, and then I give them, you know, all the assignment fees that way. Also, there's another couple gals in the men group that really are heavy in wholesaling, and I know that I can trust them. I bought several deals from them, and then, you know, I'm a repeat buyer, so she kicks me stuff that's in my area, she just shoots it right over. So that's helpful, to have that connection with someone you can trust in the group. And then agents, I use agents all the time. I really do. I'm texting agents at least once or twice a day, just to, you know, keep me update. What about this? You know, how does this look? Give me the comps on this one. Because at the end of the day, they're going to either be renting it for me, or they're going to be selling it for me, or they're going to be closing the deal for me when I buy the STR. So I use all of them. Yep, I use all of them.
Yeah, I've had to actually reach out, partner, make a couple contacts with the realtors up there in Texas, because it's a, you know, non-disclosure state, so I really can't pull comps no more. So I'm having like scrambling. I know. Like Florida's fine. You can kind of wing it with Zillow. You can kind of go in there and you'll see all the sold comps, but not Texas. So it's kind of complicated unless you have a good hookup. It's a good ace under your arm to have. All right.
Agents are kind of like wholesalers. There's a bunch of really good ones, and then there's a bunch of crap. So you just got to find some that really, you know, connect with you, that you can trust and rely on.
Okay, so tell me, or tell us in general, like, what does your team look like? Is it like a one-woman team? What's going on? That you're looking at it?
You're looking at it. It's me. Okay. Well, other than I have my husband, and he helps. Okay. You know, but
let's give the guy credit. Let's give him credit.
Absolutely. He goes to the flips. He, you know, comes with me on Fridays when he's off. He does what he can, but truly, it's me, you know, running and pushing the ball forward. But again, I use agents. I use lots of networking, you know, meeting gals and connections and masterminds, and you know, wholesalers. So there's a team, but do I pay anybody else other than myself? No. I mean, agents, I guess they make their commission, but it's mostly me.
All right, very cool. So now, tell us, I don't know, any experience that you've learned from, anything you want to share, any big takeaways, anything you feel like sharing from your experience, like if you were a newbie all over again and you wanted to share some nuggets, you know, with the ladies getting started, you look out for this, if you're doing a flip, I don't know, whatever pops in your mind.
I've talked about wholesalers a lot because I've had some run-ins. Couple of things I would say: wholesalers, number one, is make sure they're reputable. I'll just tell you brief quick. This week I've used Northwestern. And I don't want to talk about that anyway because lots of people have great experiences with Northwestern. I probably spent 3 months going to auctions and putting bids in. I think I put 10 offers on properties, and it never really worked out. I always felt like, you know, they're talking over here and, you know, working out numbers, then they're coming back to you and they're telling you something completely different. So I kind of stopped doing that. And then last week I found this property. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it one more try. I should have listened to my gut. The house, and I got it under contract, and my earnest money is gone. So, but it's pre-mastered. It is condemned. It needs to be condemned. So basically I bought the land for $75,000. I'm going to get out of it. I'm absolutely sure I'm going to get out of it. But my point is be careful with who you use. You think you can trust them, and, you know, they're schmoozing you and telling you all the good things. Oh, Mindy, this will be fine. I've whacked it. No, you can do this for $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
How many years ago was that?
And I knew that wasn't the case. I doubled what he was saying because I thought, well, you know, at least doubled. but it was $150,000 renovation. It was, I mean, it had to be bulldozed. It could not be saved. Hit by lightning, 12 dogs in a 700 square feet, using the restroom, no electricity, no plumbing, and a human being was living in it.
Oh my
And
God.
be very careful who you use for your wholesale bills.
Going off script here. Have you ever used Sunday.com? I was looking into them.
No, I've heard lots of things about them. I've not used them.
Okay.
I've heard good things, but I've not used them. I just tend to stick with who I know because then I don't have to be in situations like this. So.
That makes sense. Thank you for sharing. That is a huge, I mean, that is a tricky situation to be in. So
yeah, that's making my cheeks pink just thinking about it.
But you're being brave, you're pushing forward, you're taking risk, you know, you're taking your own risk.
Yeah. If I lose my $7,000 earnest money, you know what? I learned what I don't want.
Right.
Really fast. And I got some good contractor connections out of it who are actually going to help me on some of my current ones. So, I mean, it was worth it. Even if at the end of the day, I lose my earnest, it's okay.
Okay.
How you react to it.
I love your energy and your coping mechanism. I don't want to know how many years it took you to get like this, but it sounds pretty good. Like you have it together.
It may be all a facade. I don't know. We're kids and running a business and doing this and, you know, dealing with contractors and all the things, you know, you just got to roll with the punches. There are days when I cry and I want to just like kick the crap out of someone because, you know, they don't treat you the way you want to be treated and the way you treat other people. But you get what you give. And I just try to, you know, keep it above the belt if you can.
All right. Well, that kind of leads us into a more personal note, which I always like to like touch on, you know, like how do you keep yourself accountable, not only for work, but like, you know, mental sanity, yourself, your private life, your husband, you know, just like on a personal level also. How do you kind of keep yourself on your toes with that?
I had to do a lot of changing because I was a certain way my whole entire life, and adding this to my plate made me realize I want to be more than I am. I want to be more than sleeping till 9 o'clock, even though I was running a full-time design business. You know, I'm just kind of sluggish getting out of bed, just going, you know, at whatever pace. And for me, my word for this year is spiritual power. So I had to kind of revamp all of that. And this has happened before, like the transformation kind of happened before, you know, beginning of this year. But I had to realize, you know, meditation, reflection. And I've always been a very thankful, gracious person, but, you know, writing it down and, you know, stating it every single night when I'm in my bed for about 15 minutes, just running through, this was good, this was good, Lord, this was amazing, this was okay, but I'll take it, you know, and focusing on some of that, you know, more important things in life, getting up early, getting your day started, being gracious, praying. One big thing that I kind of started doing that I think is helpful, at least for me, is I don't turn my radio on in my car anymore, unless I'm listening to a podcast about and learning something. Otherwise, I just turn it off.
I'm with you. For like the past 2 years, I don't even know what's out there playing in the radio. So I mean, I don't know if I'm insane or what, but yes, unless it's a podcast I'm listening to, or I'm learning, or an Audible, which I just kind of play it, I'm completely disconnected. I'm not saying for people to go through that. I'm just saying it's my personal case.
With that quiet time and just to be able to, you know, process and work through things, you know, and hopefully get some insights because I spend a ton of time in the car. And it just, for me, kind of brings me down a level a little bit. And maybe it's because I'm getting older, but the loud noises and, you know, it just kind of ramps me up, and I don't care for it anymore. So that's kind of what I keep myself.
Okay, now that was a lot of business talk because I know that's more of what we do. Most of our day consists of that.
Yeah.
What about like, what do you like to do for fun? What do you do on your weekends? Like, where do you go? What's good?
So 4 babies, all grown, all of them are in high school except for one who's going to be a senior in college.
Nice.
So I run around with them a lot. We enjoy cooking dinners together. My favorite thing is to travel. I love to travel. The ocean, I was just telling another gal I was on another call with, for some reason the ocean speaks to me. I have a peace, I have a calm about it. Probably one of the reasons why I want an STR the most is because of that connection. But I just love traveling. I love to fish for mondo halibut in Alaska. I just love being outdoors, and that's probably my favorite thing is just traveling and doing fun stuff with my family and my husband, and that brings me the most joy.
I love it. So cool. We have so many things in common. I love the outdoors. I was actually born and raised in a farm, so I'm like big time. Yeah, I'm from Cuba, and literally horses, you name it. We had like 20 dogs. I don't know how many cats. I mean, the whole thing, the whole zoo. Yeah, it's crazy, but I love that. I love outdoors as well. So now, any good reads, any good books, or any, if you don't want to do books, you could do podcasts, whatever you want.
I pulled 3 of my favorite books. The first one is, you're gonna laugh when you see the cover.
No.
It's super old, like 70s. I don't even know when it was published. She looks a lot different now, but it's called Remembering Wholeness by Carol Tuttle. It's a lot of religious based, but it's kind of remembering, teaching you how to remember how to connect with yourself, your spiritual self, the universe, if you call it that, the Lord, and remembering how to call on them and how to, change your thoughts about money or whatever else, and just teaches you a lot of things that I don't think you get in normal religion classes or at church, and just kind of gives you a connection with the angels. If you believe in that stuff, if you don't, that's fine. But
honey, I believe in everything. I have crystals, I have the whole thing. I believe in everything. Yeah.
Every day I'm like, angels, please.
Whatever it takes.
So that book changed my life and just opened my eyes to so many things I had no idea were out there. The second book is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. Have you read this one?
Not that one, but I've read other books by him.
Probably the supernatural one. You probably read that one.
Yeah.
Super scientific-y, if that's a word, if I can say that. He gets kind of wordy in his definitions and some of his explanations, but also life-changing in terms of how to think about meditation and connection and manifestation. So I like that one. Last one, I'm not, probably everybody's read it. Yeah. It is a goodie. She's one of the keys.
She kicked my butt. That's how I feel about it. She kicked my butt. That's how I feel about it. Like, wake up. Yeah, those are great recommendations. Thank you. There are 2 out of there I gotta go read now. I appreciate that. There's 2 books out of there I gotta go read. I love that one. The first one you showed has me intrigued. I'm reading right now Conversations with God. I cannot give you any feedback on it. I just started. So hopefully it's good. We'll see. Sounds interesting. So I'm all up for it. What about?
With a grain of salt. It's a little bit older. You look at the cover and you'll see it, but there's some nuggets there for sure.
Good. Yeah. Take that. I always say, and even to my son, he's a teenage, of course they don't have the same mindset, so it's kind of hard to kind of like instill really anything like what we are thinking when we read. But I try to tell him, listen, don't worry about agreeing 100%. Take your 20%, move on to the next book. Don't worry about it. Just whatever resonates, and that's it. No big deal.
That's right.
So tell me, is there a challenge you want to leave the audience with today?
I thought about this, and I think my challenge would be, because it's helped me so much just in the last 6 months, is try to connect to that spiritual every day in some way. I know everybody says that, but it really truly does make a difference, at least for me. If I can just, I had a contractor walk out on a build this week because I asked him to go over invoices, pulled the crew and left and said I refused to pay. So, you know, I just took a moment, stepped back, got quiet, and just said, okay, clearly this is an absolute mess and I've got to figure out stuff fast. Let me just take a minute, calm myself, calm my nerves, be quiet. I mean, I don't even think I went into any kind of meditative state or anything. I just sat and collected myself. And that's the challenge I would offer is just implement one thing. You don't have to do implement something like the I am statements or the affirmations. I'm journaling a lot, just writing down what I see for the future. You know, even if I repeat it every single day, I'm just writing, I'm going to have 10 STR, whatever it is. Just taking that moment to connect with a higher power, I think will send you farther than anything else. That, and, you know, I challenge you guys, one more little challenge is to, you know, give of yourself if you can, a little bit every day. Just try to do something kind for someone. And that too will
I love that.
That will take you farther than anything you could ever do on your own. That's it.
Oh, I can't say enough. Thank you so much. I love everything, the whole conversation. I mean, I could go on and on. I just really love talking to you. I love it. We click and we connect pretty easily. I love this. All the info you provided, so amazing. I hope the ladies find, or the men listening as well. It's not, you know, it's all inclusive. Yeah. But this is amazing. Thank you so much for being here today, for taking time to share with us everything that
Thank you for having me. And I always say at the end of, you know, when I do something like this is, if anyone, you know, needs any help, has a question, or if there's anything I can do, I don't know anything, but I'm willing to, you know, help, listen, support, text me if you need to.
And where can they follow you? Any social media, website, anything?
Yeah, I do a bunch of it. It's mostly word of mouth that I do, but my design business is the Room Establishment, Instagram and Facebook. But I would rather you just message me or text me if I can help in any way.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.